All right. Wow. Welcome back to the Social Tiger Talks every Tuesday and every Thursday. Right now, we have a LinkedIn lead blowing your mind specialist here with us, Stef. He's a force for impact on LinkedIn. I met Stef actually probably almost 2 years ago um, when his posts really captivated me, and they still do. He gives value. He's working with one of the most impactful creators on LinkedIn right now, Yasmin Alich. Um, is known for giving value as well, and so it's just absolutely amazing the impact that you've had, Steph. So again, this is every Tuesday and Thursday on LinkedIn. We have such awesome guests lined up for February. It's going to blow your mind. I was keeping this a secret, but he has confirmed the one and only Tanner Chidester, 115 million in sales. He's a worldwide coach. He is a big household name. He will be joining us next month, February 20th. So mark your calendars as well. So wonderful to have you again, Steph. We did have a
Thank you,
LinkedIn Live
Jordan.
last year, right? So just reintroduce yourself. Tell us your story and tell us how you impact people.
Yeah, man. So first of all, thank you so much for having me, Jordan. I think we had our last live around a year ago. I think I
Yeah,
remember I
exactly.
was still in Okinawa. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah. So I do lead generation, and I help. Nowadays, I changed my target a little bit, so I mostly work with
Mm, wonderful.
big creators on LinkedIn.
Okay,
Jasmine is
wonderful.
not my only big client. I
Yeah.
have two more. One I can disclose. The other one I can't. Unfortunately, I can't yet. But one
Um.
is Opelia Chinello.
Uh,
She
oh
has
wow.
150,000
Okay.
followers. Yeah, she's a client. The
Uh,
other one is 220. I can't disclose yet,
uh,
but is European based.
um. I think I have some idea of people who you work
Okay.
with, also, like with
Uh,
Beatrice and with like all of these wonderful creators on LinkedIn as well.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so
But
awesome,
yeah,
man.
yeah, man. What I do, I basically I consult not as much as I used to nowadays, but I consult and I basically have a done for you lead generation service for LinkedIn. I
Mm,
only currently I'm only work
wonderful.
partnership based. So I basically what
Mm,
we do, we take a cut of what we make. Depending on the person that comes our way, the business comes our way, the cut can be bigger or smaller.
wow, amazing.
And yeah. So yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. And I
Cool,
started on
man.
LinkedIn roughly two years ago, and then it's
So,
been
so, so,
it's
so,
been
so
great.
let us know your background and how you got
Sure.
started on LinkedIn, and what were your thoughts on getting started on LinkedIn at the time, and if you went through some turmoil or some
Of course.
struggles at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, man. No, I had several moments where I actually got to the point where I thought I would quit my business. Roughly a little less than a year ago. It wasn't that long ago, actually. Um, but yeah, so I started on LinkedIn because I launched three or four businesses, mostly on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Nothing really worked until I bumped into LinkedIn as I was doing. I was in the B2C space. I was mostly doing lead generation with ads, landing pages, email marketing. And then after a few years, I was like, well, let me try the B2B space because at some point I just didn't really feel I resonate with the kind of marketing I was doing. I was mostly working for coaches in the, like lifestyle coaches, relationship coaches. And
Mm,
when I started working for a startup based in Singapore. So I bumped into LinkedIn for the first time, and I thought, oh, this could be a really good platform for me because I don't really need to
good.
do a ton of videos. I feel like it's very educational based, so I don't really need to convince people. There were like a bunch of things that I didn't really align with that I felt like I didn't have to do on LinkedIn
Hmm.
compared to Facebook and
Yeah.
Instagram. So that's when I started, and roughly a little less than a year ago, I thought I would quit my business. So I stopped posting for like 3 to 4 months, even though I got to the 10K a month milestone that everybody after just a year and less than a year actually being on LinkedIn.
Amazing.
I was really
Amazing.
broke.
Wow.
Before that, I was really broke. So I was like, what's happening here?
Wow.
Never had money in my
Absolutely
life
amazing.
to the point where I was like, oh, I had 10K a month. Nice. What am I gonna do with that right now? So
Yeah,
yeah, I know
exactly.
for a lot of people it's not much, especially in the business space. But for me, it was like, damn,
Oh
like I'm
yeah, no.
rich now.
No, yeah, 10K a month is absolutely like a great milestone.
Yeah,
Just like amazing. So that's great, man.
yeah,
It's wonderful to have you, and and just let us know. I know that you meant some struggles.
yep,
Like a lot of our audience is are business owners themselves. They're
yep,
successful entrepreneurs, but also struggling entrepreneurs. They're struggling to grow, and they're struggling like with bottlenecks, especially,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And a lot, you're right. Like we're working with big creators right now with our LinkedIn Done for You services, and a lot of them are like they're not struggling, they're successful, but they're bottlenecked because they don't do outreach, right?
oh yeah, yeah,
And we'll get into that, your strategies to give value, but um, what do you see like the number one mistakes that these kind of creators
yeah,
like make when they try to do outreach themselves, or maybe
yeah,
like relying on that inbound, which is awesome, but also what are some of the mistakes that they're making
yeah,
right
yeah. So first of all, no, thank you for the question. One of the things that I would like to say is that if you're starting your business from scratch, if you don't have don't have a clientele already, you should do outreach yourself. Like this is what I really believe in. I don't think you should hire somebody, especially when you're validating your offer.
now? Yeah,
Not a huge believer
wonderful,
in that.
wonderful.
But okay, so I mean, I'm one of the consultants in Jasmine Knowledge community, right? And basically, there are two other consultants that we consult with all of the clients of that are in the community. It's 200 plus founders. So and it's kind of funny because everybody. So we have two different consultants. I do lead gen. There's one person does content and one person does design, and
Mm,
we can see how many requests each consultants get per
yeah,
week.
yeah.
Lead gen, like DMs, it's the lowest one. Like nobody wants to do lead generation, nobody wants to do DMs. But really, so when you ask me what's the biggest bottleneck, the biggest bottleneck is getting started with lead gen because
Yeah,
I feel like that's the biggest resistance that people have. It's a,
yeah.
and I was on the phone this morning with. Look, I got to a point where I think lead gen it's really about believing that you have something really good to offer to the world. It can be a lead
Mm,
magnet, can be an offer. Like this morning, I was on the phone with I don't know if you know Luis. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Luis Battlefield, the video guy.
okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I've
from
seen him
Canada.
around. Uh-huh.
And he was like, "Oh, Steph, I really like your, when you targeted me with outreach." And I was like,
Yeah.
"I never targeted you with outreach." And he was like, "Oh yeah, you asked me if I wanted your performance bay, like your," and I was like, "Oh yeah, you're right." It's like I didn't see that
It's like
as
second
outreach.
nature, right?
Yeah, no, but I mean, I didn't even see my offer as outreach because I
Yeah,
felt it was such a no-brainer, such a so
yeah,
much value for them that I was like, I'm
exactly.
actually giving you a favor because I'm working for free in exchange. Like if I get results, I get my
Yeah,
service is very expensive, but
Yeah.
after I get results, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even see that as outreach. I was like, oh, I was actually messaging just you and other friends that I had here and that I thought could really benefit from this.
Mm,
So I really believe that, like, if you, I don't even think you should. One of the things that I'm learning from Jasmine is Jasmine's, I feel like he's amazing at selling, but not selling. I
yeah.
don't think he ever really think that he's selling, but I really think he's giving value and sometimes inviting people to his community or whatever he's doing.
Hmm.
So even with outreach, honestly, if you would give value to people that could potentially buy your services, the right people, I don't really think you have to sell.
Yeah.
As in,
Exactly.
if you never want to invite anybody on a call, but you would just like, hey, Steph,
Yeah.
like somebody that could potentially afford, right? If you could get in front of the right people and say, hey,
Exactly.
I created this resource that I think could be really good for you. How you guys trying to set up a lead gen service? I have, like I lay down a game plan for you, or like I have a lead magnet, how to set up the software, how to start sending messages,
Yeah.
how to find the right people. Do you guys want this resource? And I'm sure at some point, if you're talking with the right people, even if you don't ask, somebody will say yes, like let's have a
Yeah.
chat because
Exactly.
I need your support. So it's not really, if you focus on just, I don't know, just contributing, like if you're shy or you don't want to be salesy, at some point somebody will be attracted to what you do,
Exactly.
want to jump on a call with you.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. For sure. And the the stigma behind DMs. I mean, it's like,
Yeah,
well, especially with bigger creators where they have a constant activity in their DM box, and and unfortunately, LinkedIn is not the best for managing DMs, right? Right? Because
yeah,
it's so hard,
to not
especially
miss the M's.
to miss DMs from
Yeah,
months
it's
ago,
easy.
right? It's like, what the heck?
Yeah,
I'm like, why did I message him back? You know, he was interested. So with all this kind of stigma behind, what do you think is the most, like we already talked about it a little bit? What do you think is the most um, fear behind like developing these kind of meaningful relationships in the DMs, and what kind of tips do you have to develop these meaningful relationships in the DMs
yeah.
as well?
So my tip would be, if you don't feel okay. So first of all, there is a stigma around DMs because like so many people, like the thing about what I believe makes a difference, and this is something that I'm learning from Jasmine. I think is such an amazing like beast, like uh, entrepreneur. Like
Hmm.
I feel like Jasmine is so present and he treats everybody the same way. It doesn't matter who you are. And I feel like that it's also what works with outreach. It's like
Mm,
the hardest thing to do is like to stop seeing people as a walking wallet, but like just like, what is it? If you would message people, only ask, hey, potentially like build that relationship and ask, hey, is that something that you would need right now? If you do that,
wonderful
most of the
question.
people kind of like know what to expect. So it's kind of
Yeah,
tricky to do it in that way. But say, hey, I created this. Is this something that you potentially would like to work with? You
nice.
potentially would like to receive? Like all the time, I think that at some point somebody will be like, "Hey, Steph, let's have a conversation," because it feels like I really, really like your approach. I really like your energy. I know that you do lead generation and help other people. Why don't we just have a conversation?
Yeah,
So
yeah, wonderful. Yeah,
you don't have to, if you like, you don't have to sell. Just focus on building relationships. If you don't feel like you wanna sell, but if you feel like you have such a like, right now, I currently feel like my service is amazing. Like I really think the my expertise and the conditions of my service, it's absolutely amazing. Like I think it's a no-brainer, and the outreach is reflecting that. Like I'm getting 40 to 50% positive reply rate when I reach out to somebody.
amazing.
Hey, I have this, do you want it? Like this is my service, right? So I don't even see myself as, like selling via DMs. But
Yeah,
if you feel like you're selling via DMs, you're probably doing something wrong. It's either it's in your offer or in your approach. So
yeah,
if you want to get started with outreach, add people to your network, thank them to be part of your network, and that's it.
yeah. It, yeah, it's as simple as that. I think a lot of people over like complicate DMs and say,
Mm.
"Oh, I need to be witty. Oh, I need to be like Jordan
Yeah.
Belfort. Oh, I need to be like be like the I need to be like Alec Baldwin in the boiler room, sort of like that kind of mentality. Sales, 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 sales. And I think maybe our mindset gets the best of us, right? Because
Yeah.
we don't want to go to that area, and just a stigma of selling. It's just like this greasy old fat Carl salesman with a cigar. Just like, give me your money. It's like whenever whenever I had trouble selling in my career and trouble selling on LinkedIn, I had to regress. I'm like, so why why am I feeling this way? I mean, like, I have a valuable service. Why, you know you got to really dig deep in here and figure out why to progress, right? Obviously.
Hmm.
So, i- in your years of experience, um, by meaningful connection in the DMs,
Yeah.
how big of a problem is outreach in the DMs when you're focusing on the what ifs? What if there's a negative response?
Yeah.
Does that
Oh, that's a great question.
hold many
Yeah.
people back? Do you think?
Yeah, for sure. Even myself to this day, I was talking with a team member, and I currently have a performance a partnership. I don't have a like if you want to pay me to for me to work with you right now, I don't have that option. Like I'm not set up for that. But I'm thinking of just say, hey, how about the people that want to work with me but they don't fit my partnership, but they want to pay don't fit the criteria for my partnership, but they still want to are ready to pay me, I don't know, 2.5, 3, 4K a month to do lead generation for them. And I'm like, the reason why I'm resisting that it's because everything that I do right now, it's like my profile, it's optimized in a way that it seems like I only do partnership because that's what I do, right? But let's say I'm resisting the fact of having a little line, a little link under the application form that says, "Hey, if you don't validate, by the way, we have you can pay and work for us,"
Yep.
or something like that. Because there's a 1% of the people that I talk with that I say, "Hey, you didn't validate for this. Do you want to work? Do you want to pay me, or you can go somewhere else? But if you want to pay me, we can set something up."
Hmm.
There's that 1% of people that gets upset if I
Yep.
do that. And
Exactly.
that's kind of like I'm hesitant for that because I
Yeah.
don't want to have to deal with that.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I'm still kind of like listening to myself to feel okay, so is it just me? Is it my ego that I don't want to upset
Mm,
people like that are wrong, or I'm actually am wrong if I start doing
yeah.
that?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I understand that. In a way, when you do outreach, you like I when I was doing actively, I currently am not doing outreach. I'm working with 100%. I mean, not doing outreach for my business. I'm working 100% inbound, and I would get, I would probably say on average around one person a month that would be
Mm,
pissed by my approach.
hmm.
But and I would reach out to like hundreds of people a month, right? So that's kind of like you shouldn't let
Okay.
that, like
Yeah.
affect the other 19,
Exactly.
99%
Exactly.
of prospects that welcome or are indifferent or sometimes
Yeah.
even appreciate your outreach.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Um, yeah. I have really found that the more that we involve ourselves in um, in the day to day routine and do it no matter what, right? Have that resolve, no matter if it's a yes, no matter if it's a get the hell out of here, no matter this is salesy, I don't like your approach, no matter if it's um, like whatever response we get, we always have to measure the majority. If we get one or two responses, oh, I don't like your approach, da, da, da. But if the majority, yeah, yeah, no problem, no problem. Well, then, are we going to let those two people like sort of like poison our
Right.
approach when the majority are appreciating are really appreciative of it? So it's like really focusing on the positive, not the negative, so to
Right.
speak. So yeah, it just like goes to show you what we have to do as entrepreneurs, right? Because outreach can like make us or break us, right? Especially in the beginning, right? So yeah. So I just wanted to get into a little bit more of your strategies there. So
Sure.
and can you outline your process of like
Sure.
working with clients and what you specifically do for them and what benefits they receive?
Right. So I'm currently, so regarding my approach, so what I do for my clients, I basically take over their accounts. We do in a way that it's more than safe. Um, we found a way that it's like incredibly safe, and we also respect, of course, like we connect with LinkedIn accounts that not through the laptop of our client, but we have a way to proxy that in a really, really safe way. What we do, we generate money for that. We don't get paid per meeting generated, but we get paid if our client makes 100K, we take a share of that.
Okay.
Okay, depending on the client, can be anywhere between 10 to 20% for big creators, and then we have different um, service for big business, not big businesses, at least has to be a six-figure business where we take 50% until we make 20K in commission. And then we leave the system that is working to the client. We also make them an offer to keep them as retainer clients. If they want to work with us, that's good. If they don't, they own the system and they can hire whomever they want. Okay.
Okay.
So we have
Wonderful.
these two ways. I also have a consulting service. It's also a revenue share, uh, but I'm not sure whether I'll continue doing that because I've done for you. It's actually less work for me,
Yeah.
the way that I'm structuring my
Yeah.
business.
That's good. That's
Um,
good.
yeah, but I'll see if I'll still do that because I also feel there's a lot less that I can control when I do consulting. For example, the client doesn't send as
Yeah.
many messages that I would expect them to, so I don't particularly. Uh, I'm not super happy with that. Let's see.
Yeah, that's true.
In terms of my approach, I basically 90% of the cases that I work on, I have four different approaches and I pick one of them, right? One, it's what I call conversational. I usually don't use it for my done for you service, but when I consult with Jasmine clients, it's something that I recommend to, especially a lot of women that are targeting either solopreneurs or employees. Okay,
Mhm.
because it's just women in general are less don't really resonate with direct approaches, both
Mhm.
as sender and receiver of lead generation messages.
Mhm.
So what I tend to consult them on is create what I call this or that strategy that I call conversational. So they
Mhm.
ask basically, hey, usually with your work, do you deal with A or B? For example, I saw that you have a content agency, or I saw that you're a coach. Do you usually do working on one-on-one or in group setting?
Mm,
Something about their job to start a conversation, but at the same time, you show them that you've done a little bit of research. You start that conversation, and That's it. And then when you get a reply, then it's your time to what I call pivot, to go from the
Mm,
conversational approach to a more business oriented. Say, hey, by the way, how's X performing for you? How's lead generation going? How's that
yeah,
going? Depending on your topic,
awesome,
right? And then
awesome.
the next approach, it's the lead magnet approach that resonates with a lot of people because it's not salesy, but in a way you are positioning yourself as the expert in the conversation. Say, hey, you can also link it to a create a hybrid between a conversational and this or that and a lead magnet approach. So, for example, you can say, "Hey, are you working one-on-one setting or group setting? P.S. I just released a lead magnet how I generated 47 clients in my first year on LinkedIn. Would you like to receive a copy? If you like to receive a copy, let me know. It's on me in the PS, right?
Awesome.
That's one approach. Otherwise, I have lead generation approach. Hey, I saw that you have a content agency. We just create a lead magnet that help another content agency book, get 7 clients with 14 meetings. Would you like to receive a copy? Okay, so that's the other approach. Then the third approach and fourth approaches are very direct, what I call either direct or direct offer. So I say, hey, we generated this result with this particular client, which I think it's relevant for you because you have this commonality with the client. Would you like to have a conversation about this? Is this something that could be
Mm,
potentially worth discussing for you? Okay. And then
mhm.
I have the offer. Like my approach used to be until I stopped doing outreach was like direct offer. Hey, I saw that you have this particular kind of agency. We work on a partnership base, which I think you would qualify for. Okay. That was also my kind of like I was preparing the lead to be reframed to say, hey, I have this, I think you qualify for, but we will need to go through a conversation. I will need you
Yeah,
to be validated for this. Is this something that will be worth exploring for you at this stage? Okay. So one of
yeah,
these four approaches, usually 90% of my clients, for 90% of my clients, I use one of these four approaches.
cool. Wow. Yeah, I could really see how it works because it's giving value up front. It's meaningful
Yeah.
connection, but at the same time, hey, simplicity, right?
Yeah. Very simple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think like a lot of people get stuck in their minds once again, trying to overcomplicate the
Oh yeah.
message,
Yeah.
and then before you know it, it's like this big long message is like, no, it could be like half the size, giving value and still work,
Yeah.
right? So,
For sure.
so yeah, so that's great that you're pivoting in this kind of direction, and it looks well. I know that you're impacting on LinkedIn every day,
Thank you.
and so it's like, um, so when considering like outreach methodologies, I know that you've pinpointed some outreach. So a lot of people, I think, get lost in like maybe the second or third DM down. Of course, they can send the template, but uh, I mean, like, what to do if they respond, and then like the second or third DM down, they're like, I don't know what to do, and so that's when they refer back to their coach. So what do I do? How do I do this? So how? Of course, practice makes perfect, but we want to streamline this process of learning fairly quickly, right? So how? What is your tips and strategies for like really, really getting our DM strategy, but at the same time knowing what to respond so that we don't get ghosted.
Okay, got it. So, uh, so what was your last question about being ghosted? What to
So,
respond when you're getting ghosted?
yeah, like, do you have any like
Yep.
strategies on, let's say, if you outreached And of course, like trial and error, right? We sometimes modify this, modify that. But let's say we see they're posting, we see they're active on the platform, but then nothing, right? So
Yep, yep. So what I basically do is this. So when I get go, so let's start from the lead magnet. Okay, so you should start talking about business, right? Like your intent. So first of
mm,
all, I like to be very transparent with my intentions. Like I usually send my intention is clear in the connection request. I don't particularly like to send I know that in terms of acceptance rate, in terms of different KPIs, sending a blank connection request is better than sending a personalized connection request. But I don't particularly like that because I like to know why is somebody connecting with me. If somebody is connecting with me with a blank connection request, I don't like if the next message is, hey, you know, I connected because of this reason. You want to have a chat? I don't really like that. So what I what I like to do is just like, hey, in the first message, making clear where I'm connecting. If I'm offering a lead magnet, then it's okay to pivot because in a way, it's kind of expected. Or I'm just saying this is something that you need. Or by the way, since you want this, are you also looking for somebody that does the thing for you, not just the instructions? They can, it's they can just say no if that's not the case. When it comes to ghosting, so basically what I want to say, as quickly as possible, state your intention or make it clear. You don't need to say, hey, I'm here because I want to make you a client, I want to sell you my product, but
yeah,
say, hey, I'm here to potentially explore if you might be interested in this particular service or this particular
yeah,
result, that
hmm
it's even better than
yeah,
talking about services. When it comes to being ghosted, I mostly have two strategies. One, it's so first of all, depends on if I never been replied to or if I've been
yeah. That's
replied to
good.
at least once.
That's good.
If I never been replied to, I personally tend to let those leads go. I
Okay.
personally do.
Yeah,
But
that's good.
if they've replied to me once, what I tend to do, I tend to offer them a new lead magnet. If it's a lead magnet approach, I already offered a lead magnet, and then I started to pivot. Anyway, I usually offer a second lead magnet. Say, hey, Jordan, I was thinking about you because like I bump into your conversation, or I just created. It just helped. Uh, I just created a resource since I help another LinkedIn sales strategist like yourself get this result. So I thought this would be perfect for
Nice.
you as well.
Awesome message.
So
Yeah,
always,
very
I
nice.
don't like to bullshit. I saw another creator that used this approach. Hey, I was thinking about you the other day. Like, I actually received. It sounds
Mm.
like I don't know, such a bullshit for me. Like, why you were thinking about me? Like, right? Like,
Exactly.
who am I to you? Like, but you say, hey, I bump into your conversation in my inbox. That's
Yeah,
it's simply, or I was going through. Sometimes I even say I was going through my CRM and I bump into your conversation,
yeah.
which is
Awesome.
it's really true.
Yeah,
And I'm like, and then you can say, hey, I just created this that I thought it's very important for me to give them a reason why I think will be perfect for them.
yeah,
Maybe they have a since you're see that you're posting every day, you can batch personalize it, right? Like
yeah,
maybe you're reaching out to all people that are already posting on LinkedIn. Hey,
yeah.
since created this, I bump in our conversation as CRM. Since I saw that you're also posting every day on LinkedIn, I thought this would
Mm,
be perfect for you. This is how to go from a profile visit to getting a meeting with somebody, something
mm,
like that.
wonderful.
So always explain why you reached out and why you think the message or the resource is relevant for them. You can even say, I just got this result. Maybe you're LinkedIn. Hey, Jordan, I just managed to help another LinkedIn sales strategist make 20K in 1 month. going from 5 to 10 through 20. Is this result something
Nice.
that is, you know, potentially worth exploring for you? Would you Are you looking for help with lead generation right
Nice.
now?
The, the, yeah, very, very nice. And of course, like, since you're using real data, and if they ask for that case study, okay, sounds good. Here you go, right?
Of course, yeah, yeah,
so,
sure. I have it ready. Yeah, yeah,
so it's like really, really powerful, right? Especially
yeah,
when we're clear, we're simple, and we're just trying to help them, right? Get the
yeah,
results they want in their business, right?
sure.
So absolutely awesome strategies here today. So um, just to like wrap up here,
Mhm.
what is can you outline like first of all some of the outreach mistakes that people are making on LinkedIn,
Yeah,
and also like how they can get better,
yep,
and any final thoughts about LinkedIn lead generations?
yeah. Okay, so one of the biggest mistakes that I see, it's in the mindset. Like, the way I always tell my clients is that they should see themselves as the prize, not the client, not the prospect is not the prize. You see yourself as, hey, there's one Steph and so many people with money to buy my services, but it's only one of me. All right. That's the first one. So when you reach out, don't apologize. Don't say, hey,
Yeah.
I'm, like it. I would love to know about you. No, it's like, I'm here. I'm your opportunity right now.
Mm,
If we
wonderful.
are not working together, if we don't work, that's completely fine. But I'm your opportunity here.
Mm,
And the other one that I would say, it's very simply asking too many questions per message. Your messages should be very well structured. Always focus on the lead, like, hey, blah blah blah, one question, not more than one question. You can offer something else in the PS. You say, hey, how's your business going? PS, I created this, let me know if you want to receive it. Not even, would you like this? No, because you ask another question. So keep the conversation focused,
okay.
unless you have two kind of conversations going. Like, there are instances where there are exceptions to this, where, for example, I talk about basketball. There's one prospect that became a client, and we had basically two conversations going on. One was about business, one was about basketball. Like, I like basketball. So
Yeah.
that was that was an exception, but I usually almost never do it. Um, and really, look, make your intentions clear. It feels horrible as a prospect to, when you're like asking question, faking interest, and like all of a sudden you pivot to a business conversation. So clearly state your, like, be transparent. Like, hey, this is what I'm reaching out because of this reason,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah. For
You don't
sure.
need to hide anything. There's no right time or wrong time. It's just like, always state,
Yeah.
your intentions, and be transparent, and
S-
give value for sure, give value.
So, along with that, there's three more questions that I would like to ask. Is like, what is your top tip with people just like starting out on LinkedIn that
Mm.
well, maybe don't have that many clients, but have some case studies. But should they go all in on networking with the right people,
Mm,
or should they? Is the strategy like changed for them, or just like be
yeah,
because we're talking about a profile like that is not impressive yet.
yeah,
Like any tips for those kind of
yeah.
people?
That's a really good question. Like, one of the reasons why I used to do consulting and help people launch businesses on LinkedIn. One of the reasons why I stopped is that I feel that there are so many nuances that go into launching a business. It's such a nuanced thing that sometimes you can even have the right product, the right strategy, the right content, the right branding, is colors, and everything looks good, but you don't get clients because you have a negative belief or
Hmm.
something
Yeah.
of that nature. So that's one of the reasons why I don't do that anymore, because I like my service right now because it's very concrete. Like if I make money for you, I make money for myself. Otherwise, there's no money for me. Like
Yeah.
I'm not selling, like things
Exactly.
um, that don't exist. Because I feel with consulting, sometimes you have to take into account that 50% or more than 50% or a little less than 50% of your clients don't get results or don't get
Mm.
considerable results for the
Yeah.
investment, right? That's kind of like normal for
Yeah.
consulting. I just didn't like that anymore. So, but what I would say is that what I did is that I just found a way to love what I was doing in a way, and not every day. Actually, on most days, I probably wouldn't, because I would let emotions get in the way, like the anxiety of having to get clients or the anxiety of having to get tractions. But ultimately, I was still passionate about what I was doing, even though I couldn't really feel it on a daily basis. And I became better and better at that.
Mm.
But if you don't feel like you want to sell, don't sell. If you don't feel like you don't want to do a particular kind of content that is more pushy, or don't want to sell pushy DMs, find a way that resonates with you,
Yeah.
and walk that way. There are so many people giving advice, and it's really
Mm.
good that there are
Yeah.
advices out there. um, but ultimately, you have to find what resonates with you, because like making
Yeah.
this whole game
That's true.
sustainable for yourself, it's a priority. It has to be fun.
Yeah.
Can
That's
be
true.
stressful, but should be more fun than stressful. And I sacrificed the fun for too long, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Exactly.
Doing
That-
this.
that's so true. That's so true. So,
Yeah,
um, Steph, what
yeah,
do you see your business? How do you see yourself
yeah,
at the end of 2025? With what kind of results?
yeah, yeah.
With
I've
what kind of impact on LinkedIn?
I've okay, so that's a really good question. So I'm learning a lot in that regard from Jasmine. Jasmine, I don't know how. Look, I had the opportunity to, like to talk with him every week and hear from him and follow him and see his comments, his interactions. I don't think people realize how present Jasmine is. Like everything he does, he's not perfect, like nobody is, right? But like he Yasmin is getting the results is getting because like there is something that he's putting out there that nobody else or a very few people are,
Hmm.
putting.
Yeah.
And he's freaking amazing. And what I would like to do, it's what I'm focusing on right now. It's a lot of educational content. I just want people to,
Nice.
like go home and say, hey, Steph posted this carousel today, is giving me a new option for my business to try to grow my business. And let me
Nice.
try if it works. And then maybe they try it, and if it works for them, and I would never know about it. Like I don't care. Like it's important that I feel that I've contributed, and I'm focusing more and more on that. I'm learning so much from Jasmine in that regard. Regarding my business, to be honest, I my goal right now, I really like to have a solid team, like a team. And I
Mm.
I I have people coming my way maybe every week, a few times a month, and like, hey, Steph, I would like to work for you for free. And I feel like the time has come for me to onboard some business partners and somebody
Mm.
that can help me grow in a way that I really enjoy doing what I do, so I can do many other things.
Mm. Yeah.
So that's
Exactly.
really my goal. It's like impacting more people. And I really mean it. In the past, I would use these words and not really mean it. But now I'm like, this is like, if I feel that every day am impacting other people and I can really focus on that rather than having to worry about what's coming back for me in
Yeah,
my wallet. That'd be
exactly.
amazing. That'd be amazing. And
Exactly.
I'm learning. Look, it's still the concern is there. Like, hey, I would like to get more clients. It's still there, but I feel like it's becoming less and less strong. That feeling
Yeah.
and amazing. Like now, it's the team. It's my priority. Really having actually, I all this project. I hope it works well because I there is like a particular guy that came my way that I really hope I can create something that I have to deal with him every day.
Hmm.
I have to be around that energy, the energy of the people I like every day. So I would
Yeah,
like this to grow
that's
so I
good.
can have those people around
Yeah,
every day. It's
yeah.
fucking great. Sorry.
No, that's so true, right? Really pushing forward with the right team,
Oh
right?
yeah,
And with the right frame of mind and with the right really makes a difference. Like speaking for the Social Tiger, we're a team of 11. Um, my co-founder, of course, is Mark Ramsey. We have
yeah,
another sales genius joining the team. His name is Jay Lee, the sales ninja. We're all like encompassing and we're all growing together. And it's just like amazing the type well, not only the deals that we close, right? Obviously, I mean, it's nice, but the people that we impact as well. So it's just like amazing feeling to have like this team to shift your mindset to the entrepreneur, right? And so yeah, we definitely wish you the best
thank
in
you
that scenario. And yeah, just like my main goal here is connecting with the right people, um, developing relationships with like-minded individuals, whether it's referral business, whether it's white labeling services, right? We're big into that right now because it's all about growth with the right people, right? So
for sure.
awesome stuff. Any last remarks or any final words about LinkedIn lead generation and the future of it?
Well, first of all, I want to say maybe something that I shouldn't say as a lead generation expert, but I want to say that you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. You only do it if you feel curious about it, if you feel like there is something there, even if you might not be enjoying it as of today. Um, the future, is it AI based? Yes, in a way. I see AI as really great for prospecting, particularly. So to find the for those who are not familiar with the term prospecting, it's to find the right people to talk with. Also, for some level of personalization, I actually received an email from a guy, and it was the first time that I received an email. I was like, dude, please, like, if this is AI generated, this is amazing. Like, connect with me on LinkedIn. I don't need your services right now, but you're fucking great. Just like connect with me because in the future I'll get back to you. It was like, this is 100% AI. I was like, you're great. I Unfortunately I don't remember his name, but it was a great email. And I saw on LinkedIn that actually he's doing amazing. Not posting much, but he's like some posts with like 1,000 likes and comments and like crazy stuff. And really amazing approach. So AI will play a role there.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
Yeah, but you still have to look. AI, it's good, but you still have to understand people and have a feeling for what people are looking for, what resonates with people. Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to have a
exactly.
certain
Uh,
sensitivity
exactly.
to make it
Yeah,
work.
exactly. Okay, well, thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
your time right now, and
Yeah,
just
my pleasure.
looking forward to your growth in 2025, my friend. You've
Thank
always been an
you.
impact for good. Um, w- w- like I've known Steph for about a year and a half now, and off and on we chat in DMs. We met for a chat, like
Yeah,
every couple months, and so I see his heart. His heart's in the right place, and And definitely, if you are a LinkedIn influencer, if you have um, a great audience, but wanting to nail your outreach, please pay attention to Steph. And so how can people get a hold of you? Um,
Oh, just DM me on LinkedIn
DM
if
you? Okay,
even if you just want to have a
just
chat. If
DM
you
you on
want to apply
LinkedIn.
for the program, it's in my profile. It's pretty straightforward. Just my
Awesome,
feature section. You can apply there. We
awesome.
we might be releasing services for open to the public, not just for big
Ooh,
creators or big
nice.
businesses soon.
Very
Let's
good.
see.
Awesome,
Yeah, let's see. I
awesome,
don't know yet, but we might.
awesome,
So yeah.
awesome, awesome. Okay, Seth. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us, and it
Thank you. That
was
was great.
super great to touch base and
Yeah.
really looking forward to your growth in 2025.
Thank you. Same
Thank
here,
you
brother.
once again for the almost 20 people here. Please respond in the
Awesome.
comments how you like this. If you want to, if you know someone that needs Steph services, or if you want to get a hold of Steph, please DM him. He is one of the greatest impactful creators
Appreciate it.
on LinkedIn right now with lead
Yeah.
generation strategies. And just go to his profile and you'll see what I mean. Awesome stuff. Thank you so much. And